Hi, I'm Alex Johnson.
I'm Kyle Snyder-Drummond.
And welcome to News Channel 15. In addition to a full week's school vacation, February is of course known for Valentine's Day. Before that day, News Channel 15 asked students and teachers what their feelings were about the traditional day of hearts and flowers.
Happy Valentine's Day.
I think I'm gonna take my girlfriend out to dinner.
Are you looking forward to Valentine's Day?
Not really. No, I think it's just an excuse for Hallmark to sell more cards.
Nah, I don't know. Valentine's Day isn't anything special.
I'll let my wife take care of that. She usually makes all the arrangements on Valentine's Day, so I'll defer to my wife on that one.
I'm nothing because I don't have a girlfriend.
I'm going to be in Costa Rica, so yeah.
I'm going out to see my boyfriend.
I feel that Valentine's Day is a horrible holiday that makes more people feel lonely than it does make people feel welcome, because everyone who's single doesn't feel very good about themselves that day.
I really don't have any feelings either way about Valentine's Day. I guess if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, it's nice, but if not, it's not that big of a deal.
It's not really a big deal for me, it's just another day.
I have a girlfriend, and it's just another excuse to buy her a present.
The Environmental Awareness Club, headed by club advisor / science teacher James DeSanto, spent the February school vacation on their annual trip to Costa Rica. As usual, the trip was an unforgettable experience.
The purpose of our trip to Costa Rica, the trip itself coordinates with the environmental science class that I teach. The AP Environmental Science class, and now we open up to all the environmental science classes, and it coordinates with our curriculum in terms of biodiversity, energy use, different types of biomes. Gives us a chance to look at the rainforest which is getting so much attention around the world.
We went for about 10 days, and it was nice to interact with everybody and go hiking together and see all the animals. We saw a toucan, and we had a sloth on the bus at one point. That was fun.
I brought 21 students, and with Miss Troy as my co-teacher with me, and we brought 21 students down, and we had a wonderful time, and 21 students returned safely, having the time of their lives.
It was to promote kind of like keeping the earth sustainable. That was a big part of it. It's a huge part of the class in the first place for environmental science. I think it's also to see like the beauty of the rainforest, which is being chopped down for, I think it was banana plantations and pineapple plantations.
In guidance news, the Melrose permanent scholarship packets are due March 3rd for all seniors. AP testing money is due March 13th. The cost is $86 per test, and checks should be made payable to MHS Guidance.
Hi, this is Rachel Gore with your weather history for the month of February. On February 4th in 1988, a winter storm produced heavy snow from the Ohio Valley all the way to the New England area. Snow totals were up to 12 inches in Massachusetts, Vermont, and New Hampshire. On February 6th in 1978, a massive nor'easter buried the cities of New England. Storm totals included 18 inches in New York City, 16 inches in Philadelphia, and 14 inches in Baltimore. Boston was hit the hardest with a total of 30 inches of snow. It became known as the Great New England Blizzard, and travel was outlawed for a week. Well, that's your weather history for the month of February, and I'll see you next month.
And now let's go to sports with Alex Johnson and Omar Barrento.
Hi, I'm Omar Barrento.
And I'm Alex Johnson.
And this is the sports segment. Even though the next World Cup is 2 years away, qualifying matches to enter the tournament are already underway. On February 11, 2009, 4 matches were played. Germany was upset 1-0 by Norway. Defending Euro 2008 champs Spain beat England 2-0. USA beat Mexico 2-0, and Argentina beat France 2-0. Stay tuned for more World Cup 2010 coverage.
This year was a crazy year of football. The Arizona Cardinals, who were a very unlikely team, came out of nowhere and made it all the way to the Super Bowl. Although the Cinderella story wasn't completed because they were stopped by Big Ben and the Steelers, they put up a good fight, and it was an all-around good game with a final score of 27-23.
I would have rather had the Cardinals win.
Arizona shouldn't have even been there, so that's all I can say. The Steelers did a very good job. Just very sad that the Pats weren't there. Yeah, Steelers.
Extremely disappointing. I thought they won, so I changed the channel, and I came back, and they lost by like 4 or 5 points.
It was a close game. I thought Arizona was going to pull it off at the end, but Pitt came back with a strong drive, and they won. So, I don't know. I wasn't surprised.
It was a great game. The first half was a little bit slow. The second half was a real good game, entertaining. And I was kind of disappointing. I thought Arizona was going to hold on to the lead. They didn't hold on to the lead. And the result, Pittsburgh Super Bowl win.
Arizona should have won, but Pittsburgh pulled it out right at the last second with a nice touchdown by Santonio Holmes.
Go Steelers.
I would have rather have the Cardinals win, and don't like the Pittsburgh, whatever.
Go Steelers. I'm excited that they won.
I watched the Super Bowl, and I had a great reaction because I thought it was one of the best games played in a long time. And I actually wanted Pittsburgh to win. So it was an exciting time and a fun game to watch.
I think the Cardinals deserve to win the Super Bowl. And even though they did lose, I still think Larry Fitzgerald should have been the MVP of the Super Bowl.
The boys hockey team has had an incredible season so far, which was highly unexpected. The team's captains are Chris Powers and Mike Darlin, and assisted by Greg Picard and Colin Murphy. The team is coached by Jason Shapolsky, who is in his second year of coaching. The team had 6 wins last year and have already improved and won more games. Watch out for the boys hockey team in the state tourney in the following weeks.
Once again, I'm Alex Johnson.
And I'm Omar Brento.
And that's it for the sports segment. And now with the weather for the month of February, here's Rachel Gore.
Hi, this is Rachel with your weather for the month of February. Our average high for this time is in the upper 30s and average low is 24 degrees. Our record high temperature is 70 and our record low is -18. And our average precipitation is roughly 3 inches. This has been your weather for February, and I'll see you next month.
And once again, I'm Alex Johnson.
I'm Kyle Snyder-Drummond.
And that's it for News Channel 15.
I'm Omar Brento.
And I'm Rosanna Hamadi.
And I'm Alex Johnson, and welcome to Melrose Debate 09. The first topic of the day is, should famous people, well, celebrities, be glorified the way that they are in today's society?
I'm saying yeah, they're celebrities, they earned it. Why shouldn't we? There's many people to look up to. Respectable celebrities should be glorified. That's just how I feel.
Did you just say they were respectable?
Some are.
A majority of the celebrities that are actually on TV, that make the news, that make all the headlines, have done something stupid. Like they've gotten drunk and they've flashed themselves.
No one glorified, right? Athletes shouldn't. No one should. You just hate on everybody. Exactly. That's how.
No one. I don't think anybody should be glorified in the sense that they're making all the money for doing the least amount of work.
I just said respectable celebrities, not the ones like Britney Spears or other people who are like getting, just doing stupid stuff, getting drunk, going to parties and stuff. But like, there are some celebrities that are respectable and that we should be glorifying.
Okay, well then why are we glorifying the ones that are doing all of the stupid stuff? A majority of the celebrities that are out that have all the media coverage are the ones that are doing negative things, not the ones that have been helping the children.
Sells.
It shouldn't sell.
Well, it does.
Well, it shouldn't. Why is it that our society is based off of the amount of how much someone drank the night before and the stupid thing that they've done?
When have you ever seen on TV where someone's they're talking about how much they drank the night before. Oh, they had like 7 beers and 4 shots. No, I've never seen that. In your world, you just want to hate on everybody, correct? You don't want anyone to be glorified. Not athletes, not celebrities. Who should be glorified in your world?
Nobody.
Nobody?
And this
Nobody
is not
should
a
be?
debate upon hating upon me, because
No,
right
but
now
no-
you're just bashing me, and
No,
it's
I'm
getting
not.
really obnoxious.
No,
Yes,
I'm not.
You are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm just saying you don't respect anybody and you don't glorify anybody. Why? So there should be no one should be, what's it called, being looked upon and being glorified?
The people that should be looked upon are the people who are actually doing something for our country. Barack Obama. I
All right, he
glorify
is.
Barack
He
Obama.
is, though.
But I don't glorify Britney Spears, who has become
No one glorifies
pregnant.
No one
and
glorifies
everything
her.
else.
No
And
one
why was she on the news every
they
other
just look at
day?
the stupid
and her,
stuff she does.
And
It's
like her
funny.
little sister, whatever
It's
her
funny.
name was.
It's stupid. People like to watch some stupid stuff.
All right, the celebrities should, certain celebrities, like Omar said, should be glorified, I believe, but others, you're right, it seems like people, just certain type of people, just like to hear about celebrities making mistakes, and it's not right. You know, like I agree, but it's just like you said, Britney Spears. I don't think she should even be a celebrity in the first place. And
She's
I
very
mean,
good
but
looking.
people like
She
like-
is. She's good looking,
Yeah,
so that
I mean,
sells.
you
Her,
can't help
her
it.
looks do sell. What's the problem with that? All right, so Rosanna, in your mind, who should be glorified?
The people, if they've done a really good job performing, like whatever it was that they were doing, the movie or their music or anything, I think they should be glorified for that, but not for what they did last weekend with that random guy that they met at the bar, that random girl, or because they drank too much, and how Britney Spears was like flashing everything everywhere, and that's the stuff that's usually on the media.
They don't
glorify
use that. They
them.
don't glorify that. They just want to show. I think that a lot of TV channels, magazines, news articles, things like that, just want to almost bring the celebrities down and just change people's opinion on them. And it's good for news because people
Man
who
is
do
right.
glorify
Man is right.
people who do glorify those celebrities are going to be like, oh my God, maybe I shouldn't look upon them as these like high class people if they're going out and doing that.
Yep.
They're not using these like drunken stories as like a glorification. They're using them to, I think, bring the celebrity down.
Yeah, that just sells. Like they're just trying to make it's a business. They're trying to sell. Showing stupid stuff
shopping.
Britney Spears does and everything sells. So I don't blame them. They're just trying to make a buck,
I mean, but it's not right, but it's true, But I mean, let's just on to the next topic. Around school, you see a lot of people walking around with baggy pants, hanging down. What do you guys think about that?
I'll let Rosanna field this one right now.
All right, so it's not necessarily just like the baggy pants. It's that the way a lot of people these days tend to wear their pants is right below the butt, with their underwear hanging out and their butt just, out for the world to see. And it's really annoying to walk down the hallway and just see that.
I don't think a lot of people do that in our school. I think they're a little low, they're a little like halfway. I don't think it's all the way down necessarily and like their butt showing. But if you're gonna say that, then I don't want to walk down the hall and see a girl with a small bikini top shirt. Actually, no, I don't want to see a girl with that, like with her breast hanging out. Like that's the same thing as someone's butt hanging out. It is.
Well, I understand that, but
Go on.
sorry.
You understand what I'm saying? Like it's the exact same thing.
I kind of think that it's ridiculous. Like some people just take it too far.
No, some people do.
Some people literally have to pull up their pants every 2 seconds while they're walking down the hall. But like, I mean, people do tend to wear like pants that are baggy, and that just kind of happens. Like it's not like something that somebody tries to do, but like it's just like some people do take it a little too far. Like I can agree, on either side.
It's not necessarily like the baggy pants, just like baggy pants in general are perfectly fine, but it's when they're wearing a belt and the pants still happen to be like right here on their leg.
That's the take it too far.
I think it's a fashion statement, It's a new thing. It's a new thing,
So I'm not saying that girls should be walking around with their breasts hanging out or the thong sticking out of their pants, but it just annoys me in general when people, you gotta pull up your pants every once in a while. It's just ridiculous.
It is, but at the same time, it's not like they're doing it to hurt you or something like that. It's just how they're wearing their pants. It's not like they're showing their bare butt.
But
It's
leave
just their
something
boxers,
to
you
the
know?
imagination. I don't really want to know that someone's wearing Scooby-Doo underwear walking
Yeah,
around
but you're
school
complaining
or
that's about
something.
men. When do you see men complaining about girls, like the way they wear their thongs or like the way they wear their bras? Oh, I don't want to see her red thong. You never hear a guy saying that. So I think you should stop
Well, I don't
complaining
want
about
to see
it.
that girl's red
Well, some
thong.
guys
I don't want
do.
to see that guy. Well, that's still.
Because you're one of, maybe some girls do want to see that. Who knows? Like, you can't talk for the whole girl community. Maybe that's just your opinion. But
It is my opinion, but you know what? If it offends one person, it's going to offend more than one person. So there may be a bunch of girls that are walking around the school that are like, well, I really don't want to see what color his underwear is. I don't want to know what color thong she's wearing, and I don't really care what
It's
color
just
her bra
clothing,
is.
though. It's just
Okay,
clothing,
I'm pretty sure that
exactly.
this is going absolutely nowhere. So the next subject is, what do you feel about the whole rules on detention, suspension? You know, what do you think should be given for punishment, like for each different thing? Like some things you get detention for that I believe that you should get suspended for, and other things people get suspended for, I don't even think you should get detention for.
I agree with him completely. I think the school
Like what?
School is suspending people way too quickly now. The rules again, like why? I think the new rules are coming in that don't need to be there. Like why
what?
break some? Man, why fix something if it's not broken? You know?
I mean, like if you're skipping, like if you like
You skip a class,
school or
yeah.
skip even one class, like like if you just really don't feel like going to that class, you can get like detention, sometimes even suspended. And I believe that if you skip the class, it's your choice, and you're just not going to do as good in the class. It's up to you as a high school student
is
to
right.
do good in the class.
I completely agree with you, but I don't. Suspension is going way out of line, but I think a teacher detention just. I mean, it is like your life. You can spend it how you want to,
Yeah.
but a teacher detention may be something, but suspension for just cutting a class is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm just like, we're adults now, you know what I mean? Not all of us are adults right when you first get into high school, but like I'm 18 years old, and if I don't feel like going to a class and I get suspended for that, that's just stupid. Like that's my own choice.
It's your that's what I mean. I agree that I just think when you get to college, you skip a class, you're screwed. Like you're not gonna like do good in the class. Like the professor's not gonna care. He's just gonna give you the grade that you deserve. And I believe in high school they should prepare you for college, and they should do the same thing.
Yeah,
I think
not
if you
make
skip
all
a
these-
class and you're not bothering anyone, I believe they should just go, okay, he gets a 0 for the day. Some people are just accept it.
Like
you know?
acting up in class. Like people are so quick, just like, all right, go to the office, you get in detention. Like just kick them out of the class. They can leave. It's not what is giving them detention. What do you gain out of that? You know.
I also believe that the whole like fighting scenario. I think that Melrose High in general takes fighting like to a whole like ridiculous extent.
The man
I
is
think
right.
that almost.
The man
I
is
think
right.
that the school almost builds it up into a bigger deal than it actually is. Because if there wasn't this 5-day suspension, peer mediation, you think after you fight somebody, you want to sit in peer mediation and talk to the kid? I don't think
I know,
that's right.
it's just a fight. Like they should be suspended for the rest of the day. Like the kid got into a fight.
Yeah,
Like,
I think they should go
5
home
days and have an expulsion hearing just for a little fight.
Usually a fight is the end of something. If you fight somebody, then usually the next day you're basically fine with the person.
But what
for
if
the
the
most
fight
part.
gets extremely violent?
If the fight gets violent, then
that
you
changes.
should get
but,
suspended.
But they're trying to. I think they're trying to like scare people into not fighting by saying, "Oh, you're gonna get suspended for 5 days." I still see fights in school and stuff. So I don't get what they're trying to accomplish by doing this.
They just turn it into like a holiday every single time somebody fights in Melrose High. Because it's not very often, so when it happens, the school turns it into a big deal. I think if the school looked upon it as not as big of a deal, then kids wouldn't care as much. But the fact that, everyone crowds around, the teachers come, and it just turns it into like, like this big thing. And I just don't think that they should do that. I think that, like you said, if it gets too violent, if it gets out of hand, then, there should be, meetings, or maybe, like get a few detentions, or maybe like take a few days off from school. But I don't think that it should be like a 5-day suspension, miss all your classes, fall behind. I just don't think that that should be the way that they treat, just a fist fight in the hallway. Or even sometimes people will be pushing each other, I don't think that,
Pushing may not necessarily, I don't believe that a detention or a suspension should be given away for a pushing fight, because that's just not a fight in general. And, but a fist fight, I think some form of punishment for a fist fight. If
I
punches
said,
are
yeah,
flying
there
and someone
should
gets
be punishment,
hurt,
but they're
They
going
should
way
leave.
too extreme.
Just get suspended the rest of the school, talk to the principal, maybe take a day off from school, get back into their classwork. They're fine with the person afterwards. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
5 days, the
That's it.
whole week. Like, you're gone. Like, you're gone for the whole week.
That's
What
just
does
a
that
vacation.
accomplish? I know. That's what I'm saying. Kids don't really mind.
But
It's
they
like-
miss schoolwork.
Especially if they
what
don't.
if somebody in an honors class is getting picked on? They get into a fight. You know how far behind they fall. They don't. I don't think that should happen. Like
some kids don't even care. Like, oh, I got to spend 5 days for fine. I'm gonna go home and
some kids
chill.
like to go home. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think that should be a punishment. You know, but I don't know. I just disagree with the way that they do that in Melrose High School. Some other topics, maybe, the cafeteria prices have just been jacking up every single year since I got into the school. Even in the 8th grade when I ate in, the high school, they were, like way lower prices. It was just, it was reasonable. I would bring like $2, $2.50 to school every day, and I'd get a lunch. And now, I have to bring like $5 to school to get what I want at lunch.
And
I just
first
don't
of all,
think
the
that's
food isn't as good as it was before, so I don't get why they're charging more. The food kind of tastes worse.
Yeah,
and
it
every
really is.
Yeah, and every year it's going up like 50 cents. Like
It is.
It went up my freshman year. I know it was $2.50 for a lunch, and now it's $2.75,
Yeah.
and the cookies went up like 15 cents. And
Yeah. I mean, this is all
understand
of our
that-
4th year, right? Even
Yeah.
at the school.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't think that every single year they should jack the prices up. It's kind of ridiculous. Like,
And if you're gonna jack up the prices, give more food.
Give
you know
more
what
food,
I mean?
better
But
food.
they're not.
I mean,
like the
think about
fries,
it.
they used to pack the fries, and you have tons of them. Now they charge you like 50 cents more. And it's like this much of.
They don't let kids leave school to get lunch. If I walk down the street to Petroni's Melrose House of Pizza, I can get much better deal, much better food for less money. And, they make us stay at the school and eat food that's not as good, low grade, and more money. I just don't think that that's fair. I mean, when my parents went to school, the lunches were 25, 50 cents, and, you got a full lunch. And if you wanted to, I'm pretty sure that you could leave to get
Yeah.
lunch. And also, speaking of that, going back to the subject before that, when our parents were in school with a fight would happen, they'd talk to the principal and it would be over with. I just think that the whole school system is just getting too intense, too ridiculous, and everything's just blown out of proportion.
What do you feel about this, Rosanna?
I think the prices should be lower, and for open campus and everything like that, I don't understand why we don't have open campus, because I think the school's afraid that kids might leave and not come back, but then it also falls under the subject of skipping, and it's like, if you skip that class, you're missing that work,
Yeah.
you're getting a 0 for that day, you're gonna fail that class, it's not affecting anybody else. So not having open campus or just loosening up on us a little bit, like a majority of just walking the hallways, going from your classroom to the bathroom, you can't just take your time. You have like 4 minutes to get from your classroom to the bathroom, to go to the bathroom and then go back. And it's just become such a ridiculous policy that we can't be anywhere in our school without supervision. And the trust has dwindled, and I'm assuming it's because just a few kids may have ruined that for the rest of us, but it's still not fair to the kids that actually need that time.
I've heard one of my teachers actually mention that they don't think that there should be open campus because they're afraid that what if students go out and smoke or do some sort of a drug during their lunch
They're gonna do it
session.
before school.
Yeah.
I mean, my response to that was before school, after school, weekends, anytime. If they choose to do that, it's gonna happen. They can't. I don't think that you should close the campus because of that. I think that's a horrible reason. And I think if that's someone's choice to do something like that, then let them go to school impaired. They might not learn as well. They might not do good. And even if they wanted to, if the teacher could clearly tell that they're under the influence of something, they can send them to the principal, send them give them detention, suspend them from school, whatever. Before school, in the middle of school, it's the same thing as coming to school under the influence.
Well,
I don't see why.
Yeah.
That's a reason to close
Just
the campus.
the open campus and everything, even if kids would still go out and do drugs and everything, they're going to do it before school anyway if they really wanted to, or they're going to come into school late. messed up on whatever drug it is. It's not. There's no way to stop it anyway, because also kids probably would leave school anyway to go do the drugs and then come back.
Yeah.
So having an open campus wouldn't really affect that, but it would give us a choice of like, give us more freedom, because in college they're not going to be like, you have to eat here, this is what you have to eat, this is how much this is. And they always say that high school is supposed to prepare you for the real world, but the way it's set up and the systems that they have in place and all the rules and guidelines that they have, a lot of them don't apply in college. And it's not really preparing you for anything, it's just making you more codependent on the people that run everything.
Yeah, I agree. We all agree on that. There's only one more, subject that pertains to the school, and it's probably going to be the closing subject. And it's really just, back to something that we had, a few debates ago, is just, the cliques around school, like different, groups of people around school, like how people interact with each other around the school. Like, what do you think?
And in response to that, I think if you've noticed, the people who are complaining about the cliques in the school are the people who aren't not necessarily liked, but aren't in cliques, who aren't liked enough to be in the clique. So,
gee, thanks.
Well, I'm just saying, it's the people who aren't in cliques who are complaining. Like I'm not saying necessarily me, but people with the people with a good group of friends. If you have a group of friends and you like them,
I have a good group of
all right,
friends,
then you
but you know what? I don't enjoy being harassed by the other kids.
But I was saying that if you have a good group of friends, then why? I'm not necessarily saying you, but the people who are complaining. If they have a good group of friends, then why are they complaining about? Oh, look at that clique, look at that clique. Like why?
It's not that they're complaining that there are cliques. It's that they're complaining that this certain clique is harassing them. Like a majority of my friends that do hang out, like a lot of kids that I hang out with, they're harassed usually by certain cliques. It's usually the cliques in the hallway that try to get a rise out of them all the time and in every single class. And
it's kind of like, like survival of the fittest, It's like you got the
Darwin's
top,
theory of evolution.
Yeah, it's like the top cliques, then you got like the smaller cliques and the smaller and smaller. And like, can't blame the top clique for being like thinking they're the man and everything. Like, they're on the top.
Well,
of the
then they
food
shouldn't
chain,
be bashing the lower cliques. That just sounds really ignorant. That the people on top are allowed to bash.
That's
the people
how life
on the bottom.
is, though. That's how life is. You got the people up top, and then you got levels.
And you know what's usually going to happen when those people on top actually go to college and they find different friends?
They get more friends.
Usually, most of the time, from what I've found, is that they're back on the bottom of the food chain and they now know what it feels like.
No.
Harassing people.
I haven't ever heard of something
Who have you
like
met that's happened to?
A majority of my friends.
Well, you just said you're not friends with people in the top clique. So how would you know? So how would you know?
In this school. I do have other friends. There's a life outside of Melrose.
No, I know, but I'm saying you're not friends with anyone in this, necessarily what I'm saying, the top clique. So how would you know? You don't know. You're just assuming that. You've seen it in a movie, and that's why you're saying it. That people go to college, and they become a loser. People don't like them, which isn't true. Most of the time, people who are liked in the school, like the people, which I say in the top clique, go to college and get more friends, and they have a successful life.
Do you realize how ignorant you sound?
I don't sound ignorant. I'm just saying the truth. I'm speaking the truth, and that's what people keep forgetting.
I really hope you realize how ignorant you do sound.
I don't sound ignorant.
Let me say. He is right that that is how it is, and I don't think that that's ever going to change.
Yes.
But
stop complaining.
No, it's not going to change. But like that is like almost a ridiculous statement to say that it's the top clique. They should be the best. And I know you're just kidding around and stuff.
I'm not kidding around. I'm not saying. I'm not necessarily saying I agree with it, which I kind of do. I'm not gonna lie, but. That's just how it is. That's how it's always been. That's how it's always been.
So you think that because you're on top of the food chain that you can look down upon myself and all of my friends and that you can...
I don't see why you're putting yourself in this bottom position.
Yeah.
None of us have put you in this position.
I never said you were in
You're literally putting yourself in a bottom position right now.
I've never said that you were in there.
You're saying I'm at the bottom and you're at the top to him.
I never said I was at the top either.
I don't see why.
You just did!
No, I didn't.
Yes,
no,
you did!
I never said that I was at the top. I'm just doing examples. I'm just saying examples.
I think that it's wrong that people should look at themselves as, almighty and high in these top cliques. But I do think that that's kind of ridiculous. But I mean, he is right in the sense that, you know, it is how it's been for years. I mean, ever since I can remember, you look in even like the yearbooks from the 60s, the 50s, the 70s, whatever, you know, there's always, you know, groups. You can even tell just by looking through stuff like that there's always been groups like that. But I do not think that, you know, when they go to college, you know, they either go to the bottom or the top. I think it's just someone's true personality. If they go, you know, to college, they meet new friends. If they play sports in college, they make friends with the same type of kids they were friends with in high school. And, you know, if they do have this, you know, if they do have like an ignorant type of personality and, you know, none of their friends go to the same college, you can be right. You know, maybe they do just think that they're the best.
Yeah, and it's usually the ones with the ignorant personality that are making fun of a bunch of kids.
Some people in the same clique are completely different.
Yeah,
I know people in our school that hang out together that are just completely different.
Yep, and she's making it sound like the people in like what I'm saying, this top clique, are the only bullies in the school, which isn't true.
I never said that they were the only bullies.
No, you're saying they're harassing people lower.
I never said that they were the only bullies. A majority of them. I never said only.
No, majority.
Majority.
No.
Majority.
If there's a group of like 10 people and 2 of them are bullies, they're like, oh, that group, and they're all friends and they're always associated with each other. You always see them together. You're gonna say those kids are bullies. Doesn't matter how many kids are bullies and who are not. You're just assuming that because they're necessarily in this like top clique and they're like people glorify them, not glorify them, but they look up to them.
I don't necessarily think that people. I don't think that necessarily people in our school look up to other people in our school.
I'm not saying necessarily,
but I think that. But I do think that, you know, like in, you know, our local, like, you know, town, you know, people that do play the sports are known better because, you know, they do play sports. They do, you know, like.
Good example.
You know, I mean.
Anyone watch the show Friday Night Lights? That's a good show. You know why? Because, you know, in Dillon, Texas, because not necessarily the athletes, but yep, they get respect for the things they've done.
I mean, I think people should be respected for, you know,
athletes
more things other than, you know,
smart
athletics.
People get respected.
But it just happens to be, you know, that's just how it is. I like, no one's gonna change it. You know,
I personally think, Rosanna, doing these debates with you, I think that you're on the negative side of most things, and you usually like to hate on people, and that's let's understand them and accept them because. Not everybody, because in the gay debate you're accepting people, but like athletes and people who are necessarily saying the top clique, you don't understand them, you don't want to get to know them, you just say they're mean and they're bullies.
I agree with you about that, but I also do agree that, you know, she does say some stuff, you know, about things, you know, that like she's interested in that I know that you would never be interested in, you know, and you would never accept. So I mean, it really can go either way. So I mean, I think we should just continue with this next time.
What I've realized in these debates with you, Omar, is that you just sound more ignorant with each passing day.
No.
Yeah.
And that is all for Melrose Debate 09. I'm Alex Johnson.
I'm Omar Brento.
I'm Rosanna.
And once again, that's all.